Hi everyone, it looks like I'm back with videos again, and I wanted to do some storytelling this time when I'm building for the Shipaton Awards. So, what I realized when I opened the App Store Connect is that I have a lot of apps which now I call as the graveyard of apps because you can see on the screen half of them do not have icons, half of them are still preparing for submission, and if I scroll down you'll see way more apps that just never made to the App Store, not even the TestFlight. So I just wanted to take you on a journey because I hope that you also relate with my journey, and during the next 3 months or next few months we all ship something together to the App Store and print money off them, and something that is useful for us as well as the audience out there. So, one of my first app, which is a ritual when you are developing iOS apps, is to have a to-do app. So, one of my apps that I created was Goals Crusher. It was something I did for a project, but I decided to ship it on the store as well. It was ready for distribution. I never kind of touched it after that. Another app was WeTipping. I think it was an app I did when I was doing the 100 Days of Swift by Paul Hudson. The app's name was WeTip, and I modified the UI a bit. I also got the rejection that it does not have enough, like it's not good enough for the App Store, but I still got there somehow. But they removed my app from the App Store because I had not updated it for the past 4 years, 5 years, I don't even remember. Juke Joint, I have no idea what this is. Quoting was a nice app that I wanted to show on the App Store because I wanted some AI, not AI, but API integration on how, like, I can get print some JSON data into my app. And I have no idea why I rejected the 1.0.1. CodeMagician, it was something I was doing when I was working for CodeMagic, so the idea was to use their API to create an iOS app. SF Symbols game, this was a really fun one. I also shipped 2.1. The idea was to play with SF Symbols, and SF Symbols updated every year, but I could not keep up, so it's there on the App Store, but it is just there. No idea about this Swiftly RR Contractly. It was something related to creating contracts easily. Conversionly, it was for conversion. It is similar to Revenue Cat, and I created that app as a example for when I was working for them to write articles. EatFrain was an app because I was spending too much money or eating outside, so I wanted an app that helps me not eat that much. So it was like every time I had an urge to eat something outside, I would mention the name of the item like butter chicken, and then the amount of money that I would save by not eating. So it's like I was refraining from eating out, so it was EatFrain. I really wish I had shipped this app because it's so fun. Then we have Shazamly. It was related to ShazamKit when they launched, but I never launched. Euphonic, I never put it out to the App Store, but it was for TestFlight. It's still on TestFlight. I don't think it is on TestFlight, as in the build has expired, but it is an open source project for my book on MusicKit. SF Symbols Viewer was something similar for the SF Symbols game. Cucoo, I have no idea. I think it was related to the Twitter API. Vision Shot, the idea was that you take a screenshot, that you take screenshots easily for Vision Pro. Musnova was an app for playing with the private APIs of MusicKit. I never got myself to ship that. Fusion Mix was something on a similar lines on creating a music app. Hushmelon was for the lemon Squeezy API client that you can see all the sales that you made on lemon Squeezy. Tradingly for my phase when I was trading, I was a day trader and I was selling options, and I don't even remember. I made, I think, $200 in a month. I had like a clean month, but it was very exhausting. I also had months where I lost a lot of money. I think a few $1,000s, but I kind of made it back. But it was very hectic. So I wanted an app to track my trades, but it never made it to the App Store. Not even a test flight. I don't think I even made any thing in that sense. Oasis was a Spotify client, but getting through the Spotify APIs, or I had all the designs, but I never got it to the apps, not even to a test flight. The beautiful app, it works, but I have no idea what happened. SDSD, I have no idea. Paymount, no idea. Unwind and Unwinder. Unwinder was something related to Grinder. Like, the name was inspired by Grinder, but not a dating app. It was for meditate, sleep, and relax, because my best friend from school has a lot of brand names under his name, where he has meditate, sleep, relax kind of music. Ornithoscope. This is a project that I'm not sure if I'm allowed to. I think I'm allowed to say that. This is an app that I worked with Apple on a contract for the Delhi Art Fair, and this was the test flight that was used at the Delhi Art Fair and at one of the sessions at Apple Mumbai. So it was always meant for test flight. I was not supposed to put it out on the App Store, so it is there. Musadora. The Musadora kit is a framework that I have for like, it is an overpowered music kit, and this is the sample app, so it wasn't meant to go out on the App Store either. It is in test flight, but I think, as always, it has expired. Burn tunes, burn and track music. The idea was to have all the music that I was listening to while I was burning calories to have as a playlist. I have no idea what I was trying to achieve with that. Then there was music journal, harmony. It was that the idea was to have the lyrics of the songs that would relate to the emotions that I was feeling at that time, but the access to lyrics API is still not there. It's not possible. So I dropped that idea, even though I know how to get the lyrics from Apple Music. It was a path that would have been something I did not want to take. Like, it's not the safe part to get to the App Store. Pop track album trend sorter. The idea was similar. You can in Apple Music, you can only, if you have an album, you can only see a dot. You cannot see which song is the most popular. You only get some few dots. But I found a way to have the value of each song, like how popular it is from a scale of 0 to 1, and then I would have the album sorted by that popularity. So it was a cool app. If you have used iTunes, you would understand what I mean. But again, never even made to the test flight prototype, and that's it. Then I have music translation app. This was something I was really considering to put it out on the App Store. I have a very functional app, and this was the first app that got shell-locked by Apple, because as soon as the translation API came out, I decided to have the translations of the lyrics in another language, and I got the lyrics from another API, because I'm not supposed to get it from the Apple Music API. But the Apple Developer Relation folks told me not to pursue this path because of all the licensing things that I can get involved in, which wasn't a rosy path, if I have to just say it that way. So it was a very nice app. A lot of people loved the idea. I really wanted to put it on the App Store, but I knew the hassle that I would have to deal with, the consequences of working with the lyrics and the music industry. Then there was this app called as Gradients Game, and I renamed it to Descent, which is I think the descent function in ML. So the idea, this game was my first app, my first ever app that I shipped to the App Store in 2019 July or August. I put it on test flight, and as soon as iOS, which one was it, 13 dropped, I put it on the App Store. It's, as the name suggests, you have a target gradient and you have to match it using the sliders. The UI looks very nice now with the new liquid glass sliders, so I'm hoping to put an update for iOS 26. Let's see how that goes. Then I have the smart music station Wavyyy. The idea is it is using undocumented APIs, not private, undocumented APIs by Apple Music to get the songs of an Apple Music station. It took me a month to get it approved because these are not private. They are still available out there. and they asked me specifically about the APIs, and they still approved it. So they approved it, right? So it's nothing that I'm doing wrong. Then when Flux model for image generation was launched, I launched this app called as Fluxy, which I renamed it to Neo Muse later on. And I created and published this app in 7 hours overnight, just because I wanted to. And then the app got rejected because of some reason, and I never touched it again. Cameriso was supposed to be a very simple camera app, but similar to I won't say Halide. I don't even know how to pronounce that app's name, but the idea was to have a very simple camera app which had options for working with ISO and the focal length, which I think is there in the camera app. So I gave up that idea. Scopin was a personal app, so that's why I had to create an identifier so I could archive it and notarize it for my own use. Chroma Game was very similar to Gradients Game. The idea was that you play with colors instead of gradients. Then comes the apps that I have been working recently. It's the Polarixy AI app. This was a name that was inspired by a woman that I met in Vegas, and I really want to publish this app so I can continue our legacy, if that's a way to put it. But the idea is that it is a offline GPT app. Like everything that I would see in the Chat GPT app, I would put it into this offline AI app that uses MLX and now the foundation model. So I would want to ship this app this month somehow. Everything is ready code wise. I have the database. I'm using GRDB for the database and not Swift data. Now there's another small LM3 new model that I would want to use in this app. I'm waiting for MLX Swift team or anybody in the open source community to create a small LM3 version. Otherwise I will try to do it myself. Then there's this app called as AI Mesh Gradient Tool. I created this app to scratch my own itch because I was sitting at a table with a friend in my city, and I was showing him some mesh gradients, and the Swift UI previews were not working, and I was like, oh, I wish there was an app where I could easily see the mesh gradients. So I just created it in like a day, and then the revenue cat Shipaton shipped. So I was like, I would just pivot this app from a macOS app to an iOS app and just win the build and public channel challenge with this. And I did win, but I put in so much effort in an app that I wasn't going to use daily in that sense. So I kind of burned out and I did not touch that after September. It is still making me, I think, $40 a month from the subscriptions, but I haven't touched it at all. I did try to do some few updates here and there, like a 1.3.2 update with a minor change in the meshing AI, but I have lost interest working on this app. Then another app that I launched recently was this Foundation Lab. The idea is to explore everything related to the Foundation Lab frameworks or Foundation Models framework. I'm tired. I don't even have the attention to even speak for 14 minutes. So Foundation Lab Models framework has a lot to offer, and I wanted everyone out there to just experience it without touching the code. So it's like a visual way. So you just click on run for a given prompt, see the code, you play around or experiment as if you are in a chemistry lab with this Foundation Models framework. And this is an app. I'm not sure if I will put it on the App Store. Like, how am I supposed to do it for a lab app? But if it gets past the review, I will be very happy. It's in TestFlight. I have 600 TestFlight users right now, which is crazy. I got that in like 5 days. So everyone is curious about how this model works. So it makes sense. Finally, to the last two apps, which is this private AI fitness partner, which is Zenther. I will create another video on how I came with that name. The idea is that I am working out a lot and I want to track my workouts, but I'm not making much progress because this is my first time putting serious efforts into working out. So I want to understand how progressive overloads work, and I want to see how the AI can help me in that. The second app is Arisin. It was called Arising last year. I was playing with the State of Mind APIs, and they created a very nice app, and I never shipped it to the App Store because I worked on I consulted an app which was featured for iOS 18 for State of Mind and control widgets, and also was one of the finalists for Apple Design Awards. And I felt there was a conflict of interest because it was also a journaling app, so I didn't want to be in that position, in that gray area. So now I don't work for them, so I can continue working on this app. And the Zenther app and Arisin is going to be my submission for the Shipaton awards. I'm not targeting any awards as such. I just want to target all of them because I am still vibe coding, and there's a vibe coding award as well. What I learned from last year's, it's irrespective on the topic that we're discussing, is that I don't want to target any awards because it gets too much of a competition. And if you are from India, you would know about, if you're giving an engineering exam, it's called JEE. I have given that exam twice, so I know what that competition means. It's like, how many people are there? 1 million appear for that exam. So I know what competition means. Like, if you're from Asia, you would understand about that competition. And I do not want to be a part of a rat race as such. And I just want to compete with myself. So it's like, if I'm making a video today, I want it to be better tomorrow, better than my previous self. This is how I did last year, and I did not see any competition out there. The only competition was me or my previous self. So we will do the same. So finally, I want to put an end to this video. I hope you made it to the end and you could relate of having many apps that never made it to the App Store, never made money. I think from all of my apps, Gradient Game was always free. Most of my apps were always free. Gradient Game has a tip jar. Somebody once tipped $30 because they found a really nice article and they wanted a way to pay me. So I just told them, go tip on this app, and they just tipped it 6 times. And that was the first App Store money. I think I also had a Chroma Game for $1 on sale, and all these apps never made me money to justify the $100 that I was paying. But Meshing was the first app that made me some money to the point. I think Meshing and this AI image generator, both these app has made me $500, which kind of justified the amount of money I have given to Apple in terms of the Apple developer membership. But my idea this time is to make at least 5 figures a month from my apps. And I know these mesh gradient was not in a niche that would make me even 4 figures a month. If I had pivoted to wallpaper or something, then maybe. But this fitness or the physical health and mental health are some niche where I know printing money or even working on these apps will make me money. Again, I do not want to do it for the money. I like money. I definitely do like money because I know money is required to pay for my Japan flight. So, but that's the thing that should be a byproduct of the app that I'm making. So with that, I hope this video will inspire me and you to ship the apps out of the graveyard to the App Store. And I hope to have these 2 apps on iOS 26. I think I will have Zenther on iOS 18 as well. But I want to ship them. That's the goal. Ship. Thank you and have a great day.